First, I will give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. We pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me, that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come out of his name, you receive me not. Another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believers receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote it. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Let the name of Yahuwah be held and esteemed. Let's pick this thing up in John chapter 20, verse 24. Come on, man. Let's go and pick it up. Make it do what it do. We'll make it 20 and 27, get straight on to it. Then he said, reach here your finger and behold my hands, and reach here your hand and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless but believing. Thomas answered and said unto him, my Lord and my Elohim. Yahushua said unto him, Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. Baruch are they that have not seen, yet have believed. Many other signs truly did Yahushua in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written that you might believe that Yahushua is the anointed one, the son of Elohim, and that you believe in that believing you might have life through his name. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Let's go over here to Psalms 119. I know we've done Zayin, Kuf, and Sod. I think we just did Tet and Samak. Let me see, man. I know we just did Aleph and Ba the other day. There's still some stuff in that I want to go on back and revisit. Let's go ahead and grab this cot, man. Psalms 119 and verse 57. And it still goes back to the stuff that we were talking about in Proverbs 15, which is a wholesome tongue or a healthful word is as the tree of life, and that a good report makes the bones prosperous. At the end of the day, especially even more so now with all the things that's occurring, as forth as the things that come out the mouths of men. See, and I know that y'all already know this, and I make pain to make sure that you understand. People do not believe the word of Elohim at all. A lot of people don't. A lot of people like to take things, twist it around, move it around, honestly just blaspheming the man's name. And I tell you in Isaiah 65, you can come look at it in Isaiah 65 real quick. Right? I want to say about verse 7. It might not be verse 7, no. You can pick it up at verse you can pick it up at verse 11. There's 65 and 11. For you are they that forsake Yahuwah, that have forgot my Kadash mount, that prepare a table for a troop, and that furnish a drink offering unto that number. See, come over here, right? He said, you furnish a table for a troop. Shalom, man. Come over here to 1 Corinthians, right? I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 10. It might not be it might be 2 Corinthians chapter 10. But hold on, because I don't have 2 Corinthians chapter 10 in this book. To even double check to make sure that 2 Corinthians 10 is what I want. 2 Corinthians 10 ain't what I want. So 1 Corinthians 10 is very well what I desire. And it is. 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Pick it up at verse 14. 1 Corinthians 10, verse 14. This is what it says, right? Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. Now, I mentioned that again last week, and I'll keep mentioning it till Yahuwah take his breath out of my lungs, or the mystery of Elohim is brought to pass in its entirety. At the end of the day, the mystery is going to boil down, because we're going to talk more about that when we looked at a 2 Timothy 3 and 16 and manifest that a little bit more. But y'all willing to make sure that we link that up to some pieces in Proverbs so we can make sure that we also continue down that track, that road. But it's going to come down to idolatry. Will you serve another God or will you serve Yahuwah at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? That's why the book said it tells you to flee from that, warns you about that. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, because that's what it boiled down to. And everybody around here skinning and grinning and staying and playing. And they're going to get caught up and they're going to worship another God and they're going to get cut off. You know what I'm saying? All the other stuff that needs to be worried about, well, that's not the play, and that ain't what it is, man. You understand? That ain't what it is, man. It just ain't what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't what it is. At the end of the day, it's about fleeing from idolatry. Because the beast coming down to get you to worship him over you. You ain't got to believe it, you ain't got to like it, but that's what it is. Let's continue. I speak as to wise men judge what I say. The cup of blessing which we bless is not the communion of the blood of Mashiach. The bread which we break, is it not the communion of the body of Mashiach? Now pause. We talked about that in Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Still got stuff to visit and reconcile out of that. But if you don't recall, remember it said bread is made for laughter and wine make merry, and money answers all things. Remember that. But it said a feast is for laughter, but it really says bread. Bread is for mocking, for derision. Wine is for the rejoicing of life, and money answers. He's telling you the bread which we break, and it's not going to say communion, it's going to be the fellowship or be a cod or things of that nature. He said, for we being many are one bread and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread. Now, we read about that in Proverbs chapter 6, remember? By means of a whorish woman is a man brought to a piece of bread. See, now, now I was talking about this briefly yesterday, which is the truth. And I've kind of told y'all this here, man. When you look at, well, I just told y'all this not too long ago, and in reality, when you look at a woman's nature, that's how the house of Yasharal behaves. Like I seen a woman post the other day, like, hey, if you say you a man, I'm a Hebrew man, and it's my way or no way, regardless if the woman is miserable or unhappy or not, you're a misogynist. And I laughed audibly and inwardly. And I was disgusted. The reason why I found out disgusted, because Yahuwah has a standard. It's his way or no way. And you know how many people on this earth are miserable and unhappy with him because it's his way or no way? Because he doesn't care about your opinion or your thoughts if he didn't ask you for it, or if you do not have that intimate relationship where he values what you have to say. See, a mass majority, especially this woman, you want to be heard just for the sake of being heard because you feel like you have something to say. You don't have anything of value to say. You don't have anything pertinent to add. The reason why I can mention that is because when Abraham spoke to Yahuwah, he said, if there be a righteous, would you kill the righteous and the wicked together? He said, you know what, you said right. He said, give me 50, I'll spend. You understand? But why? Because he said, this is Abraham, my friend. The same way when he came, Moses said, hey, please don't kill him. He said, Moses, because I roll with you now. I'm going to hear, yeah, I ain't going to do it because I fool with you. You understand? But it's the point of, I guess Yahuwah would be considered to be misogynistic. Because if what you say to him is not according to his will, he does not care. And it is literally his way or no way. You understand? Like it doesn't like what do people not understand with that? It is literally his way or no way. And you don't got to be down with him. Like he's not forcing you to be here. You can dip. You can dip. But it's constant. See, if you leave a man who says it's his way or no way, you know what I'm saying? There's no consequence per se of you leaving. But the consequence would be this here. 9 times out of 10, if a man tells you it's his way or no way, you very well may have an actual man. And the likelihood of you getting another actual man is very, 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 very slim. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've used it in this regard. If you got a righteous man and you leave him, or you chose not getting another. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not getting another. I can guarantee you that you're not getting another. You are absolutely not getting another one. Because what type of father in heaven do you take this man for? That if he gave you one of his sons and you rejected him, that he would give you another. Now you can take that for what you will, because the book tell you that if you despise the sacrifice of Mashiach, there remain no more sacrifice for sins. So you think you're gonna get another savior and you done rejected the one I sent? You must be stupid. That's why I can say that if you got a righteous man and you reject him, you're not getting another. You're not getting another. You must be crazy. You know what I'm talking about? You must be crazy if you think Yahuwah gonna give you an upright man and you say, no, I don't want that. He said, I gotta do what he say. And everything got to be according to his will. Or I can't stay here for that. And thank you know what? That's okay. I'm gonna give you another righteous man more to your liking. See, that's why people gonna fall for the bees. Because see, they don't want Yahusha. That's why they say, give us Barabbas. We want Barabbas. Say, I don't want Yahusha, because it's his way or no way. He got a standard and it's gonna be according to his will. Let me slide over there with that beast man who got horns like a lamb to speak like a serpent. I'd rather be with him. That was gonna happen. Why would I tell you now? Not what I tell you, matter of fact. Let me rephrase that. Why would the Lord tell you? Because he done told you. Done told you. Let's continue. Verse 18. Behold, Yasharal after the flesh. Are not they which eat of the sacrifice partakers of the altar? What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to the idol is anything? But I say the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice the devils and not the Elohim. And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils. He said the things that they offer that to devils. So when you sit down and you partake of that, you partake of with devils. No, the actual sacrifice is not anything whatsoever. But the fact that they offered it to a devil is what makes it pertinent. Same way, if it's offered to Elohim, don't that make that pertinent? Don't you realize when you drink that wine and you eat that bread, that's a sacrifice to Elohim, and you a partaker of that sacrifice? Stop it, I say. He said, I and my Father are one. And he said he came to make us perfect in one. Well, let's continue. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of Yahuwah's table and the table of devils. We provoke Yahuwah to jealousy. Are we stronger than he? You already know what that book say. You already know what that law say. Yahuwah your Elohim is a jealous Elohim. You shall serve no other gods but him. That's what he told you, right? I read all that back to Isaiah 65 and 11, because he said they don't forsook Yahuwah, for God is mountain to prepare a table for that too, and to furnish a drink offering unto that number. They done sat around here and made an offering to these gods whom they serve. We don't got to go through no script. I know times where these people done that. It's too many of them for it. 5 and 12. Therefore, I will number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, you did not answer. And when I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and chose that wherein I delighted not. Shalom, man. That's what he told him, right? He said, you done forsook his mountain, prepared the table, and furnished a drink. They done made bread and wine for the devil. Just what we read in Corinthians. Sat down and ate of it too. And he said, I'm going to kill every last one of you. He said, when I sent that word around that corner, You ain't want to hear it. When I call for you, you ain't answer. You did the things I don't like. So now I got to come see you with that sword. You already know what the master coming with. You know what the Lord coming with. Nice sword. It's a nice sword. You know what I'm saying? And in righteousness, he going to judge and make war. See, everybody talking about you, who a man of war, he teach my finger to fight. That man coming to kill sinners, cuz. That man ain't just coming through, oh, you a white man, I'm going to kill you. Oh, you a black man, I'm going to leave you alive. Are you a sinner, cuz? I'm going to cut your throat. At the end of the day, that's what it coming down to. You rebel against me. You have forsaken my authority. You've bowed your knee down to Baal, son. Do we need to go read it? Let's go ahead and read about bowing that knee to Baal. Come on around here to 2 Kings, man. What happened to you when you want to furnish a cup to that truth? You can't be a partaker of the table of Yahuwah and a partaker of the devil. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. And that's what people don't be realizing. That's what people don't be realizing. They out here bowing the knee to Baal. See, everybody think people be bowing the knee to Baal for different reasons, but people bow the knee to Baal because they worship devils. At the end of the day, they serve other gods. At the end of the day, I'm sorry, that's 1 Kings 19. First Kings, I might be. Let me double check. People out here crazy, man. Well, I'll start it right here. 1 Kings chapter 19, right? You can pick it up at verse 14. 1 Kings chapter 19. You can pick it up at verse 14. See, this still dealing with believing, though. The reason why it's still in that aspect is because for you to forsake. See, people going to see things and forsake you. A lot of people going to see things and forsake you. And they're going to forsake him because it's the simple fact that they can't believe what he's talking about because they can't see it. See, everybody got to see it. That's what everybody's problem is. Everybody got to see it. 1 Kings 19 and 14. And he said, I've been very jealous for Yahuwah Elohim of hosts because of the sons of Yasharal, have forsaken your covenant, thrown down your altars, slain your prophets with the sword, and even I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away. Well, what did they do? What were they doing? Of course, you know, they were serving Baal. Y'all know what Elijah told them. If Yahuwah be Elohim, serve him. If Baal be Elohim, serve him. Why are you stuck between two different opinions? See, that's what's going on right now. Only difference is people slapping Yahuwah name on stuff. Whether they say Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yah, Yahweh, it don't make no difference. That's just straining at a gnat, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? When you get down to the root of it, whether they say Yahweh Shai, Yahusha, Yahusha, Yeshua, Jesus, don't make no difference. You straining at a gnat. I don't care what you say. A lot of niggas still don't believe. And guess what? They expose every time they open their mouth with the stuff that they talking about. That's why I keep telling you, man, examine what the apostles. If you believe, especially for people who like Paul ain't an apostle, this, that, and the third. If you believe that the 12 are apostles, look at what they were teaching, bro. And then look at what's going on in the earth right now with people who say we are vanguard stewards and holders of the word. They not saying what the men were saying. You don't even got it. Say whomsoever receive whomsoever I send, receive me. So that means if these people are not talking what he taught his people to teach, that means they didn't send them. And if he didn't send them, that means if you receive them, you ain't receiving nothing. You ain't getting nothing. Boy, that's booth, boy. That's bad word. That's bad word. That's bouffalé, man. That's bad word. That's bad word. Nigga, you got some of a dummy pack. That junk acetone and doggone baking soda. Nigga done gave you some comment. It ain't locking up. It ain't coming. You can't even bring it back. It ain't even locking up. You can't even do nothing with it. You can't put it on the block. You can't do nothing. You better off standing on the block with a pocket full of bread laced with some ain't oral gel in it, man. Because you ain't working with nothing. Let's continue. And Yahuwah said unto him, go return on your way to the wilderness of Damascus, and when you come, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria. Jehu the son of Nimshi shall you anoint to be king over Yasharal. Elisha the son of Shaphat of Abel Maloah shall you anoint to be a prophet in your room. And it shall come to pass that him that escaped the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay. And him that escaped from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Yasharal, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, every mouth that have not kissed him. Let's come over here. It's 2 Kings chapter 10 that we need. It ain't kissed Baal. I got 7,000 men. He said he selected these men. They ain't kissed Baal. See, it's a lot of brood. They kissing Baal right now, 10 and 18. Kiss him in the mouth every night. Love to kiss him too. See, I'm looking at this because the character we chose for tonight is caught with this separation. A wall, a divide. 2 Kings 10 and 18. And Jehu gathered all the people together and said unto him, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu shall serve him much. Now therefore call unto me all the prophets of Baal, all his servants, all his priests, let none be wanting. For I'd have a great sacrifice to do to Baal, whoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did it in subtlety, to the intent that he might destroy the worshippers of Baal. Jehu said, proclaim a solemn assembly for Baal, and they proclaimed it. Jehu sent through all Yasharal, and all the worshippers of Baal came. So there was not a man left that came not. And they came into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end to another. And he said unto him that was over the vestry, bring forth your vestments for all the worshippers of Baal, and he brought them forth vestments. Jehu went, and Jehonadab and the son of Rechab in the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal, search, and look that there be here with you none of the servants of Yahuwah, but the worshippers of Baal only. And when they went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings, Jehu appointed 80 men without, and said, if any of the men whom I brought into your hands escape, he that let him go, his life shall be for the life of him. Let him slide. See, that's the thing a lot of brews on, a lot of people in their world won't deal with, period. And he said this to another prophet, boy. If the man that appointed that person to die, oh, they out of here. And if you don't want to take him out, he'll take you out. See, again, it's his way or no way. Because a lot of people, he do that. Where's the no, cuz the penalty of idolatry is death. You willingly and wantingly came in here to worship another deity. And he sat back and he told every one of them, boy, if you let one of them leave from up out of here, I'm going to kill you. As it ought to be. It's just judgment. How could you speak against it? I seen a man who won't believe in the word. How could somebody kill 42 kids? They killed me with that. See, that's whole nigga talk. That's whole nigga talk. I heard a brother say this, and I feel him too. I feel him too, because I feel the same way. Ain't no way in the world a man should look at a child the same way that a woman look at a child. Because that child grew in that woman. That's why I've always told you, that's why a woman will die for the children and not die for you. That child was a part of her. That child grew in her. She expelled that child from out of her uterus. There's a connection with her and that child that can't even equate to the connection she'll have with you in regards to risking her life for it. No, she's not going to risk her life for you, but she's going to lay her life down for that child. She can remember the time that child kicked her in her stomach. She doesn't have that type of kinship with you in that regard. So yeah, she's going to die for that child. But if you're around here looking at, how could you kill a child like that? Nigga, what you mean? How could the child be disrespectful and rude to a servant of Elohim and feel like they can run their mouth and be disrespectful without consequences? What do you mean? What do you mean? That's very feminine. It's very beta. You can't do that. I ain't know nothing about no word, man. When I read that ain't bothered me in the least bit. Not in the least bit. Shoot, that's what they get. At the end of the day, that's what they get. See, that's the problem, and I keep telling y'all this here. That's the problem with the whole earth. You get what you earn. You get what you deserve. If you deserve death, that's what you're going to get. If you deserve life, that's what you're going to get. And you earned it. And how do you earn it? By faith or unbelief. Period, point blank. Your faith will cause you to be under obedience. Your unbelief will cause you to be a rebel. And you will earn death. or you will earn life. And as the law tell you, that choice is yours. And Moses told you, you ought to choose life. He said, I set before you blessing and cursing, life and death. Therefore, choose life. That's what he told you to do. You don't want to choose life because you don't want the quote unquote restrictions. You don't want the obedience. You don't want to submit. You don't want to honor the man who created you because you feel like you're smarter than him. You feel like you know more than him. And that's the problem. And that is, and in definition, that is the mindset of the average woman, especially in Western society, that I'm smarter than this man, that I know more than this man, and I refuse to obey and honor this man. And I don't have to show myself worthy of this man. Yo, you got to show yourself worthy of you. He just ain't granting you everlasting salvation because you feel like you owed it. You got to show yourself worthy of it. And a lot of people ain't worthy. That's why they don't get it. That's why they got a problem with them. You find you a woman who had a dude who made her show that she was worthy for the things that she wanted him to do, and you'll find a woman who ain't got nothing good to say about him, but she never showed herself that she was worthy of the things that she desired from that man. She'll have nothing but negativity to say about him because he didn't cater to her father. And one thing for certain and two things for sure, who is not catering to your father. He ain't gonna do it. Like you didn't ask him for none of the stuff he gave you coming up out of the wilderness. He shot you that because he a G. Because he thorough like that. You, my old lady get the best. But see, look at this hoe. She don't know how to act. So let me go and take that back from her. Because she don't know how to act. She don't know how to act. I say I could go through all that because she was an ungrateful hoe. Didn't show you love, you talk trash about what he gave you. And when they're talking about what the last nigga did for you, like a babbage hoe. You know what I'm saying? When you sit back and you look at it like that, that should turn your stomach as a man. Well, we sure did say we had cucumbers, leeks, and melons. This man gave you angels food, man, bread from heaven, and you had the nerve, the audacity to find it contemptible and say that your slave master, the man that you say was oppressed, was giving you cucumbers, links, and melons, just like a raggedy hoe do. Because you know what? In Egypt, they were busting you upside your head, but they ain't require nothing from you. They ain't require nothing from you. You didn't have to do nothing. It wasn't no step. You didn't have to show yourself worthy. That's why you was always begging and looking for their acceptance. See, who you got to come around here. You got to show yourself worthy. I've suffered you to hunger and caused you to thirst to see if you would humble yourself, to see if you would take my word or no. Would you going to follow it or not? I got to see if you going to hold this standard. You say, you know what? I don't fool this dude. He talking about we got to be set apart and we got to do all this stuff here. And I'm getting off, man, shoot. It was better for me over here. That's what hoes do. That's why he referred to you as a contrary whore. Because you give your gifts to all lovers and get nothing in return. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason for that. Because you don't even realize that this people moves like a simple-minded woman. That's why the book tell you a jewel in the pig snout is the same as a fair woman without discretion. What good is it for you to be beautiful and stupid? What good is that? To be beautiful and stupid. And that's what this people was. Beautiful and stupid. Nevertheless. Verse 25, 2 Kings chapter 10. And it came to pass as soon as he made an end of offering the burnt offering, that Jehu said to the guard and to the captains, go in and slay them. Let none come forth. They smote them with the edge of the sword. The guards of the captains cast them out. And they went to the city of the house of Baal. They brought them forth in the images out of the house of Baal and burned them. And they break down the image of Baal and break down the house of Baal and made it a drought house unto this day. See, let's look and see what that say with a drought house. They made it a drought house. Burn that whole down to the ground. We're going to look at something in Isaiah 27 by burning that down to the ground. Because you ought to just burn it down to the ground. That's all it's worth. Burn every one of them. It don't make no difference. Any house of ill repute ought to be burnt down to the ground. Indeed. The doo-doo house. The doo-doo house. That's what it's good for. I didn't want to get the actual word for it so they could see. That word here is motsah. You got mean. You got sod, aleph, and hay. You know what I'm saying? A sewer. So you sit back and you can see that way of chaos has been secured, and the strength of Yahusha has taken it down. He secured its destruction because this is a place, a house of waste. All it is. When you deal with idols, you're dealing with waste. You're dealing with nothing. Yesterday's trash, if you would. Let's finish this out, though. Thus, Yehu destroyed Baal out of Yasharal. And that's what you're going to see when Yahusha get back here. He is going to destroy all the idols out of the earth as he should. I want you to come to Isaiah 27. I got to finish Isaiah 65 and then get back to Psalms 119. Look at Isaiah 27 real quick, all right? I want you to pick that up in Isaiah 27. You could pick it up at verse 1 if you would. It's all good. It's been a while, but it's all good. And that day Yahuwah with a sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent. He shall slay the serpent that is in the sea. See, I take you back to Revelation 17, right? With that whore coming about the sea, that serpent, which would be the beast. He's going to slay it. Yahushua going to slay him. Let's continue. And that day sing you unto her a vineyard of red wine. That take you back to Revelation 14. Remember, he said, tread the winepress of the wrath of the Almighty Elohim. I, Yahuwah, do keep it. I will water it every moment. Lest any hurt it, I will keep it night and day. Fear is not in me. Who will set the briars and the thorns against me in battle? I will go through them. I will burn them together. Well, you know, briars and thorns are not unto person and made to be rejected. This would be the beast bringing all the armies of the earth to fight against Yahushua. And of course, you know, he's coming with fervent heat and with fire in his sword. He shall plead with many, and the slain of Yahuwah shall be many. That's what he told you in Isaiah 66. Oh, let him take hold of my strength, that he may make shalom with me. And he shall make shalom with me. What's take hold of your strength? Well, you know, the firstborn is the excellency of strength, according to Genesis 49. Yahusha is the first begotten of the dead. See, Paul, come to Colossians chapter 1, just so you can see he's the excellency of that strength. And you need to take hold of it. Take hold of it, you'll have peace with Elohim. See, a lot of people don't have peace with Elohim because they don't believe. That's why they ain't took hold. Colossians 1 and 15. I see dudes be like, oh man, bro, you don't believe in Mashiach no more. And I be like, shoot, nigga never did. I don't know why you shocked. Then they get on post with dudes and they be trying to convince them and persuade them back. I'm like, for what? You can't make straight what Elohim done made crooked. Well, don't you know something? Don't you know the man, we just talk about it, don't you know the man say, if it ain't understood in their heart, the adversary gonna come and sow away what was in their heart anyway. They be fighting against the book, man. They be fighting against the book, man. Dudes don't be believing the text. You know what I'm talking about? Let them go the way they supposed to go. Let them go the way they supposed to go. If it be Yahuwah's will, then they'll come up out of that. But most of the time, when somebody get turned over and flipped over like a flapjack on a good Saturday morning, you know what I'm talking about? Because some of y'all like what it is, Aunt Jemima. Some of y'all like maple syrup. Some of you just like yours with butter. Some of these boys done got flipped. And their hearts done been revealed. I told you the other day, man, it don't that people just be falling off of this, that people's hearts get revealed. People's hearts get revealed. Israelite people in the word that I done noticed are the only people who don't want to accept the fact that niggas don't believe the word. And that it'd be a whole bunch of other stuff where they feel like it's got to be this. These people did something to him. Ain't nobody did nothing to this nigga. This nigga didn't believe it from the day he picked it up. Period, point blank. And I told you before, and I tell you again, don't nothing show that stronger when Yahushua said, boy, some of y'all here that believe not. Boy, it was men walking with the man that didn't believe it. How you gonna beat that? Well, I guess somebody must have did something to them. Because there were men walking with him that didn't believe it. Not some dudes, oh, I heard what he said, I ain't believe it. They were walking with him for an extended period of time and didn't believe anything that he was saying. And all it took for him was to say that they had to eat his flesh and drink his blood and live by him. And that is the flesh profit nothing. It's the ruach that quicken the words that I speak unto you. They are ruach and they are life. And them boys say, we out of here. We out of here. That's all it took for him to say. Them boys say, we out. Come on, man. And these boys ain't even getting no word. And you think they finna stick around? They ain't even get no word. They ain't even get no word, yo. Come on, man. Colossians 1:15. Who is the image of the invisible Elohim, the firstborn of every creature? For by him were all things created that are in Shamahim, that are in earth, visible, invisible, whether they be thrones, dominions, principalities, or powers. All things were created by him and for him. He is before all things, and by him all things consist. He is the head of the body, the house, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things that he might have the preeminence. For it pleased Abba that in him shall all fullness dwell. And having made shalom through the blood of his stake, by him to reconcile all things unto himself, by him I say, whether they be things in the earth or things in heaven. Shoot, praise Elohim. Shoot, better late than never. You know what I mean? There are a lot of dudes, man. They hearts just get showed, man. Back to Isaiah 27. And the book show you that. The hearts of men will always be revealed. That's why I say the word is sharper than any two-edged sword, dividing asunder to the joints of marrow, as a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Ain't but so long before the word show what's in a man's heart. You got to wait for it. You got to wait for it. You got to wait for it. It showed you that with Saul. Saul didn't fall off. Saul never believed it. From the jump. From the jump. Never believed it. Nothing happened. Nobody did anything to him. He didn't believe it. Period. You know what I'm saying? Period. Didn't believe it. And there's too many instances of that. The people just did not believe it. And they will sit there and they will sit there every week and listen and post about it and talk about it and make videos and all that. And then one day you're going to pop up and say, oh, that's what that Bible. See, that's that white man's book. Or that book's made to control this fairy tale. Oh, that's what I'm telling you. And you know where that junk come from? Bald-headed skank stank hoe. There's a standard that you got to be uphold to. And it's his way or no way. And you don't like it. So you rebel like hoes rebel. Ain't got to talk trash about the man on your way out the door. Because you's a stinking, nasty slut hoe. You just can't slide and say this ain't for me. You got to try to besmirch the character of someone greater than you. Because that's all you're doing. And guess what? That's what raggedy hoes do. Because there's always a cavalcade, a cornucopia, a cabal of rotten stank hoes that egg on and agree with her. Yeah, that Yahuwah nigga ain't about nothing, girl. I know. I used to be around there with that stuff too. I seen a woman had a nerve to say they try to omit mother out the text. It was matriarchal and patriarchal. Shut your funky behind up, ho. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean? Ain't no, see, they talk about that. Man, this thing ain't never been ran by no woman. Ain't nobody following no woman. A woman don't want to follow a woman. You know what I'm talking about? Let's just be real with it. She don't want to follow a woman. How do we know this? Because the minute a man act like a woman, she is disgusted and her attraction is gone. She don't want to follow a woman. You know what I'm talking about? So if you don't want to follow a woman, why is you trying to persuade us to do it? Because you worship Mother Goddess. You old half-door hoe. You old a sot hoe, whatever that stinking hoe name is. That's why I call all them goddesses hoes. That's what they is. They sluts, they whores, they rank women. Figments of men's imaginations. There's no Elohim other than Yahuwah and his son, and that's the only Elohim worthy of praise, honor, and service throughout the earth. I don't care who don't like it. You know what I'm talking about? Period, point blank. Because see, the time has come, my friends. The time has come that if you're going to be a man of Elohim, then you need to be that through and through. You don't compromise or bend it for the appeasing of simp niggas or stinking hoes. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do it. You just don't do it. This word is for virtuous women and upright men. And you encourage them and strengthen them as necessary. You know what I'm talking about? Period, point blank. But old bald-headed hoe, old simp nigga, this ain't for you. And ain't nobody finna compromise it and change it to appease your rash sensibilities and your rebellion that resides in your heart. Because you mad with Yahuwah because his framework don't match what you want it to be. Nobody cares. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. You ain't gotta like it, but you gonna respect it, and he sure gonna check you on it. And I thank the Lord for it. Let's come over here to Isaiah 27 again, though. Verse 6. Can't compromise that word for nobody. Who a word gonna reign, and it's right. At the end of the day, always remember, man. Always remember. The book tell you a virtuous woman, her price is far above ruby. That's a strong woman. Her strength would mean that she trusts in Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? That's a strong woman. That's a precious jewel that ought to be considered, that ought to be treated as such. You know what I'm saying? Book tell you that. Dwell with your wife according to knowledge. Showing honor to the weaker vessel. See, anybody who got the knowledge of Elohim, they know how to treat a woman. But any woman who's of Elohim also gonna know how to serve a man. You know what I'm saying? Because she knows this is the will of her God. Just like he knows the will of his God. Treat that woman like he treat his woman. This is simple, not complex. It's not complex. It's not complex at all. That man already told you, better watch for them whores. They're a deep pitch. You know what I'm talking about? Say they'll snatch the life out you. Say don't be no simpleton. Period, point blank. Don't be no simpleton. That man already told you, a woman's heart's like snares and nets and her hands are like bands. So she always looking to enrapture you and capture you in some folly. You got to be wise enough to avoid the folly and not to let her catch you in no folly, and to let her know that you know it's folly. Don't mean argue with her. Just let her know I see your folly and keep it pushing. I told my brother-in-law this earlier, and if I ain't never told y'all this before, I believe I have. Well, don't y'all argue with no woman, boy. She gonna beat you with experience, man. You're not gonna win. You can have all the facts, all the logic, all the reason in the world. She gonna reject every single last bit of it because she's driven by her emotion. Don't even do it. You're not gonna win. As a matter of fact, we did do that because I remember Tavon mentioned something about that at the time. It's coming back to my memory. Don't do it. She's not gonna respect you. Don't do it, man. Just don't do it. And for your own sanity. Because boy, if you sit back and go back and forth with a woman, I promise you, you're gonna want you a stiff drink of whiskey or a nice Swisher Sweet or backwood to ease your stress. Because that woman gonna make you want to pull your hair out your head. You know what I'm saying? And that junk ain't no different when dealing with any man or woman who's a part of a different religious system, quote unquote, who's AKA the woman to that God. Yeah, walk away. You'll never argue with no woman, man. Because you're not gonna win. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. Praise Elohim. Yeah, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. Because they don't listen to logic and reason. Because they're emotional creatures. So when you get caught up in a back, this is why people say they don't discuss politics and religion. That's why even when you're dealing with a man and you're talking about these topics, once you have peaked, emotion has been moved in this person, it's time to end the conversation because you're not going to win. Because at this point, this is what happens. Neither party is listening to each other because they're trying to prove their perspective, or one party feels like the other party is not hearing them, even if the other party is, and they're just not agreeing with them. You know what I'm saying? And that is that's an unwinnable battle. You can't win that battle. Now, when you're dealing with a woman, especially a woman you with, and you go back and forth with her, oh, she's not going to respect you as a man because she looks at it, if you're going back and forth with her, you consider her to be your intellectual equal. She knows that she is not your intellectual equal because she desires leadership, nurture, and guidance from you. So when she sees that you will lessen yourself by arguing with her, she doesn't respect you as a man. She says she already showed you can't be no man because a man would not do that. A man will straighten me or he'll just cease and desist this conversation. But he's not going to go back and forth with me. He'll let me sit here and argue with myself. You know what I'm saying? Now, these are things that either somebody got to teach you or you learn from observation. You know what I'm saying? I learned over time. But don't argue with no woman, bro. It's not going to get you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Just don't do it. And I'm not just talking about with a natural woman. If you know somebody's a Christian, an Episcopalian, a Baptist, whatever they is, don't go back and forth with them. You know what I'm saying? If it's not an exchange of ideas, see, there's no agree to disagree. Somebody's right and somebody's wrong for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And if you see that a person will not accept facts and logic, you got it, bro. You got it. Remember what Paul told you, if they be ignorant, let them be ignorant. You got it. You got it. I'm just telling you that because this is how you avoid negative situations. It's a lot of people who done got killed or got in altercations or have hurt somebody because of that back and forth dynamic, or said hurtful things to someone who they cared about because in the heat of an emotional tirade between two people, something came out. You know what I'm saying? And it's better just not to do it. You know what I'm saying? If all possible, it's just better to avoid it and not do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't see the Lord going back and forth with dudes. Go back and forth with you for what? You know what I'm saying? You don't got to do it. But I'm telling you that just on the general sense, don't do it with no woman. I promise you don't do it. And there's some of you men on here who old enough to tell some of these younger brothers in the comment right now, yeah, don't do it. You could be dead right. You know what I'm saying? This ain't saying that you're not right. Because most of the time you know what I'm saying? And she know you dead right. And you still ain't gonna win. And you still ain't gonna win. Because she don't care if you right. She don't care. You know what I'm saying? She don't care. That junk ain't no different than arguing with the police. They know they be wrong, but they don't care. You're not gonna win that argument. He already know he wrong. The fact you showing him he wrong emboldens him even more. Same thing with a woman. It emboldens her even more to be a jackass because you showing her she wrong. You know what I'm saying? So you like, you got it. And also, well, if you ain't sliding in that vagina or you ain't slide up out of it, you ain't got no business going back and forth with it anyway. If she ain't up under your charge, ain't even working, man. Definitely don't argue with another nigga woman. Let her stay stupid, man. Go on about your business. You know what I'm saying? Go on about your business. That whole dumb, that's that nigga problem. You know what I'm saying? That same way you look at he a Muslim, that's Allah. That's Allah problem. Unless you stay over there with that. For real, man. That's just for your peace, man. A lot of times niggas don't even be like this. He's like, man, that's so crazy, man. Just imagine that's why you who ain't go back and forth with us. That's why he came and told her, let me plead with you face to face. You ain't had nothing to say. What could you say? Man, when Yahuwah came through thundering, man, look how some of these women be acting when Yahuwah came through thundering. Them people say, boy, I don't want to talk to him. Well, these women in this generation probably talk, you don't need to be talking that loud. Wrong with you? Nigga, what? And this world crazy, man. Let me move on, man. These people crazy out here, man. It's crazy. It ain't right. Just ain't right. Verse 7, verse 6. Shall cause them that come of Jacob to take root. You already know what that is. Take root downward, to bear fruit upward. Yasharal shall blossom and bud and fill the face of the world with fruit. That's everlasting fruit, a seed, if you will. Pere. Have he smitten him as he smote those that smote him? Or is he slain according to the slaughter of them that are slain by him? Listen to that again. Have he smitten him as he smote those that smote him? Remember, right? They shall see him, even those that pierced him, and they shall well because of him. Because he that slay a man, by man, he got to be slain. That's what the law tell you. He say, is he slain according to the slaughter of them that are slain by him? In measure, when he shoot forth, you will debate with it. He stay his rough wind the day of the east wind. He say, you going to debate with it. Just like a woman, she going to sit there and argue with it. She dead wrong, and she going to argue with the Lord. That's what they going to do. They're going to debate with him, which is those soldiers, if you would. That's them soldiers, if you would. That the peace will bring up to go against the Lord in that day. I'm just getting the word for debate, which is rob, and that is to strive or contend or to quarrel against. By this, therefore, shall the iniquity of Jacob be purged, and this shall be the fruit to take away his sin, when he make all the stones of the altar as chalk stones that are beat and sunder, and the groves and images shall not stand up. That man said to get rid of the sin. He said, get rid of all the idols. And we know that from Jeremiah 50 and 51. Remember when we were going through all that in Jeremiah 50 and 51? Where he told you he'll get all the idols of Babylon out the land? Come over here to Psalm 119, because we got to get caught out the way. It's a little, we're gonna go a little over, but it's okay. Oh, I ain't finished Isaiah 65. Let's finish Isaiah 65. Just looking at all that because we're talking about the sin of idolatry. And I mentioned all that there too, also about never go back and forth with an idol worshiper of any type. I know I mentioned it before. I want you to mention it again. Never go back and forth with an idol. You will not win. You will not win. Because you gotta realize something. They're flesh/emotion driven. So you can have a conversation with somebody who's of the spirit. You can see that in the word. To where if y'all didn't see eye to eye, ain't nothing negative gonna come from that because it's an exchange of ideas. Whether you agree with the ideas or not, that's a whole nother matter. But it's an exchange of ideas because you're dealing with people who have self-control and perspective and understanding, have maturity because they're dealing in the spirit. When you're dealing with something, when you're dealing with the spirit, you're dealing with faith. So you're not going to look at somebody because you have a difference of opinion as a mortal adversary who must be vanquished. That's not how you're viewing them. Someone who is carnal views their adversary as someone who must be vanquished. You know what I'm saying? I must eviscerate and obliterate this individual, and it can't be satisfied until it is done. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, Isaiah 65, 1 verse 13. He said, therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of ruach, and you shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. Yahuwah Elohim shall slay you, and call his servants by another name. All we dealing with when we mentioning that is these people were dealing with idols. And verse 11 already showed you that. They walked away from Yahuwah to go deal with idols. Back to Psalms 119, verse 57. We're dealing with Kot. Of course, for those of you who know, that's the wall, that's the divide, that's the separate. What's in Leviticus chapter 20? And I mentioned it to y'all quite rarely. And that's that he severed you from amongst other people, that you could be his. When Yahuwah wants you, he's going to come to separate. Some people don't want that separation. I'm just reading that to get you all of them. I think I got mentioned all of them. Wall, surround, protect, offense, divide. What you got there, right? Verse 57, he said, you are my portion, oh yeah, that I will keep your words. Now see, come over here to Exodus, right? Portion is, we've dealt with that already before. That's Kot, Lamad, and Kuf. Understand? So when you're looking at right, you can see how the last Adam will separate you. That last shepherd, that last. Now, Exodus 24, what I want, excuse me. Exodus chapter 24. You can pick it up at verse 1. Exodus 24 and 1. And Moses come up under Yahuwah. You, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and the 70 of the elders of Yasharal worship you afar off. Not come near. Neither shall the people go up with him. Moses came and told the people all the words of Yahuwah and all the judgments. All the people answered with one voice and said, all the. Come on to verse 7. I just keep going. Moses wrote all the words of Yahuwah and rose up early in the morning and built an altar under the hill, 12 pillars, according to the 12 tribes of Yasharal. Moses took half of the blood and put it in the basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar. He took the book of the covenant, read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that Yahuwah have said will we do and be obedient. But all of these things had to come to pass. I just want you to see the word obedient, because this is the key thing that you have to look at. You can come to Romans 16 right about now. Now, what is obedient is Shema. That's to hear what they listen to obey. They said everything that you said we will do, and we believe it. But they did. See, that's the same token I told you, you get baptized. Because remember, he said, you haven't suffered your Kadash one to see corruption. So you get baptized, you saying everything you said to do, we believe it. Romans 16, it is. Same thing. If you done heard look what he did with the book. He read the book in the front of the people, and they say everything in it, we gonna do it because we believe it. So you see the same thing with the gospel. When we looked at that last week with the apostles, when we were looking at Peter, what he said, when we were looking at Paul, when we were looking at Apollos from Alexandria, they were reading the scriptures in the audience of the people to see if they believed it. It's no different. It's all the same word. There's nothing different in the old than it is in the new. Romans chapter 16, verse 25. He said, now to him that is a power to establish you according to my gospel in the preaching of Yahushua HaMashiach, according to the revelation of the mystery, which was kept secret since the world began, but now it's manifest by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandment of the everlasting Elohim, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith. So now, if you did not know the obedience of faith, you can see that in Exodus chapter 24. Which is why you see that in Psalms 119, verse 57. I have said that I will keep your words. And of course, you can see that in John 12, verse 49 and 50. My Father gave me a commandment. I know his commandment is life everlasting. Because you are my portion, and I have said that I'm going to do what you told me to do. I'm going to keep what you told me to do. I'm going to guard it. Psalms 119, verse 58. That's what separates you right there. I have entreated your favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to your word. So when you got entreated, became weak, you made yourself weak, also pray and to beg. Also to pray and to beg. So you have Kat, Lamad, and Hay. So what have you done? Yahushua's teachings have separated you because you prayed or you sought them. You sought that favor with your whole heart. For this man to be Canaan or merciful or to show pity to you according to your word. Look at verse 59. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto your testimonies. This is the thing that people do not do. That's what repentance is all about. Have you thought upon your ways that you could turn your feet to the faith of Elohim? See, I'm going to show you an example of that. Luke chapter 18. Might be 19. It is 19. Luke 19 and 1. Luke 19 and 1. Yahushua entered and passed through Jericho, and behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans. He was rich. He sought to see Yahushua, who he was, and could not for the press, because he was little of stature. He ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. And when Yahushua came to the place, he looked up and saw him, and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste, come down, for today I must abide at your house. He made haste and come down and received him joyfully. And when they saw it, they all murmured, saying that he was gone to be a guest with a man that is a sinner. Zacchaeus stood and said unto the Lord, behold, Lord, the half of my goods I give to the poor. And if I've taken anything from any man by false accusation, I restore him fourfold. Yahushua said unto him, this day is salvation come to this house, for as much as he also was a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which is lost. Why is that the case? That man thought on his way, let me turn my feet to Yahushua. Let me turn my feet to this witness. See, that's what happens when you hear that gospel. It ought to cause you to consider. And that you would turn your feet. Remember what he told you in the Proverbs chapter 4? Same way he tell you to walk in that straight gate, to don't turn to the left hand, to the right, but to stay head on and keep your path out of the foot of evil. See, people don't turn their ways because they don't turn their feet to this man's testimonies or walk in the way, or Regal or Raj Gamal and Lamar. They don't do that. See, they don't want to lift up the teachings of the highest. They don't want to lift that up because they don't want to acknowledge that they're wrong. See, that's the biggest problem amongst these people. They don't want to acknowledge that they're wrong and just get in the right way. Verse 60 of Psalms 119. I made haste and delayed not to keep your commandments. Now look at this one here, right? Made haste, which is Cush. You got Kot, U, and Shan. Kot, U, and Shan. So guess what? You're going to go on here. You're going to go on ahead and you're going to pair yourself and secure yourself or nail yourself to this separation. Now, why does he tell you not to make haste? I didn't delay. Because he say, while today is still today. Remember, that word is maha. Don't be lingering now. Don't question. Don't hesitate. Don't be reluctant. With that one there, you got me and you got a and you got hey again. But guess what? You're going to mess around and you're going to be a whole guy who start bringing some chaos, bringing some slaughter because you hesitate. Remember what the dude said? Let me go bury my dad. Let the dead bury the dead. Let the dead bury the dead. What you hesitating for? If this what you own, then get on up on your grind. What you waiting on? See, the key component of success in anything in life is taking action. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't gonna take no action, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? What is you waiting on? If you're gonna keep the word, then keep it. If you, that why I say, if he be filthy, let him be filthy still. And if he be just, let him be just still. Let's continue, man. Verse 61. He says, the bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I haven't forgot your law. Rob here is ooh. What does it say? To bear witness, to witness, to evoke, to repeat, to do again, to surround. It's Ayin, ooh, and Dalet. Guess what they did? They knew that they were going to nail this man to the door. They knew they were going to kill him. We say, Rob, guess what they did? Then they surround him. Say, you come out against me like a thief with swords and staves. Sit back and show that he was separate from them. And they knew they were going to kill him. So we got too many scriptures. We done went through them in the last few. We got to go through that whole say, we'd be here all night. They knew what they were doing. But he said, guess what I didn't do? I ain't forgot that word, though. So guess what? When these people come to lock you up, that's shakak for forget. That's it. Or to ignore, it means to cease to care, to ignore, to wither, to forget. But look at the key thing, cease to care. That's Sean, Coffin, and Kai. Huh? You ain't gonna let the fact that you're gonna be consumed and subdued that you separate. See, come over here to Romans chapter 8. See, I don't care what these people, I ain't forgot. See, that's what happened with a lot of people. Man, stuff go to going, oh, they done forgot. Man, y'all who y'all had all type of stuff going on, he ain't forgot. Romans 8 and 34, man. Shoot, man. Hey, man, everybody don't believe it. At the end of the day, remember what Exodus 24 told you. Now they say everything you said, we will do and be obedient. They say we will do it and we believe it. It says Shema, hear with the intent to obey. We believe it because faith come by hearing and hearing come by the word. He said he read the book in the audience of the people. They said, we heard it. We believe that. That's true. Lying, because it wasn't in their heart. Remember what he told you? The gospel was preached unto them as well as unto us, but did not profit them, not being mixed in the faith of them that heard it. They ain't get no gain from it. Remember what he told you. Good news. Make the bones fat. It's profit. Good testimony is profitable. If you don't believe the testimony, it's not going to profit you. See, that cut people dead in the soul because they don't believe the word. They know they don't believe it. Romans 8 and 34. Who is he that condemned? Is it Mashiach that died? Yea, rather that is risen again. Who is even at the right hand of Elohim? Who also make intercession for us? Who shall separate us from the love of Mashiach? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? So you're going to stop believing because you got a little trouble? You're going to stop believing? Because remember, your first commandment was to love this man with all your heart, mind, and soul. You're going to stop believing because of a little trouble? Come on, man. As it is written, for your sake, we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. Nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor malachim, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come. Listen what he tell you, right? Death or life should persuade you. No evil spirits, no regular angels should persuade you. Definitely not no governments or no powers, not nothing that's going on, not nothing to thump. He's persuading you. You scared? You scared of the jailhouse? You scared to die, nigga? The man say you don't need to fear him who can kill you, and that's all he can do. Fear him that can kill you and cast you into hell. I say fear him. That's what the Lord told you. He say, for no height, nor depth, nor any creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Elohim, which is in Mashiach Yahusha our Lord. So your faith gonna get separated because of a little bit of trouble. Maybe he said some of y'all here that believe not. This is what he told people who walk with him, man. This is what he told them. Dude be playing game because they don't believe the book. Come on back to verse 62, right? And all that, he said, I ain't forgot your word. That's what Paul was telling you right here. You know the Lord ain't forget it. You gonna forget? You gonna cease to care? Because your life, because you finna die, you gonna cease to care? Verse 62, at midnight I will rise to give thanks unto you because of your righteous judgments. I'm a companion of them, of all them that fear you, and of them that keep your precepts. Well, you know, companion. That's kavar, right? An associate, a fellow, a worshiper. Again, Kot, Bot, and Raj. Guess what you is? You separated to the Son of the Highest. What is that again? Perfect in one. Perfect in one. He said, you know, whosoever hear my word and keep it, I will dwell with him, and my Father will make our abode with him. So you would be a companion of those who are in fellowship with Elohim. You would be a companion of those who've been separated to the Son of the Highest. Verse 64. The earth, O you, who is full of your mercies, teach me your statutes. He said, the whole earth full of cassette. He said, go ahead and teach me this word. And it is. His mercy show itself daily, every day. You know how we know? Lamentations chapter 3. That's what we're in with. Lamentations chapter 3. Right. Thank the Lord. I'd be glad when I get everything on out the way so I can go a little longer. Thinking like, now I got to do this here and do that there. I got to keep it reasonable. I can extend it from time to time. Pause. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing to do. Lamentations chapter 3. You can pick it up at verse 14. I was a derision to all my people and their song all the day. You already know what that is. They were mocking it. We already talked about that. Bread is for mocking, for laughter. He had filled me with bitterness. He has made me drunken with wormwood. He's also broken my teeth with gravel stones. He covered me with ashes. You have removed my soul far off from shalom. I forgot prosperity. I said, my strength and my hope is perished from you. Remember my affliction and my misery, the wormwood and the gall. My soul have them still in remembrance and is humbled in me. See, I ain't forgot the word. He said, they done robbed me. I ain't forgot the word though. This I recall to mind, therefore have I hope. It is of Yahuwah's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning, and great is his faithfulness. Yahuwah is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. Yahuwah is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seek him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of Yahuwah. See, that's somebody who believes. See, when you don't believe, you're not going to do all of that. That doesn't appeal to you. But hallelujah for Yahushua the word. I appreciate y'all time this evening. I bless y'all out the house of Yahuwah in the name of Yahushua. Just sit back, wait, and consider. Just wait and consider. We talked about Kot. I think we got one more in the first batch. Well, we really done knocked out all of Bot, but I need to go back over that just a tad. At least Bot anyway. But you gotta wait and consider. You know what I'm saying? Where your heart rests at. And like I said, as we looked at earlier, as I mentioned, everything about idolatry. But most importantly, before we leave here, remember, go back and read Exodus 24. Read that again. Look the word up. Let it sink in your mind. You know what Shema is. Y'all are familiar with it. You know what I'm saying? But he said everything you said, we're going to do it and we believe it. Because if you're going to do it and you believe it, and you're going to be separated by it. When you're going to be separated by it, you ain't going to be eating at the table of devils, drinking the cup of devils, having fellowship with devils. Shalom. You ain't going to do that. That's not what you're going to do. That's not what you're going to do. That's not what you're going to do. Because you're going to understand, I can't do that. I have to make a choice. Then when you make that choice, you have the confidence and wherewithal to understand that I'm not going back and forth and arguing with you about what I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Because I'm telling you right now, there's a few women on here and they can tell you, ask them how they view a man who argue with them and go back and forth with them. They don't respect it. They don't respect it. Intrinsically, it goes against their nature. They would never have to have that thought again in their life. But when it happens, their nature tells you, this is not a man worthy of my respect or honor, and I utterly refuse to do so. That's why you don't see Yahuwah going back and forth with nobody at any time. He would plead with people so that he wouldn't have to destroy them. There is a difference. Because he's a merciful man. He has compassion upon you. I wish not to let my wrath go. Remember, one of the first things that he stated in long suffering, he's slow to anger. So he ain't quick to put an end to you. He want to give you space to change your ways, to think upon your ways and turn your feet to his testimonies. That's what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to go back and forth with you. Imagine if Yahuwah was sitting around going back and forth with us. How much would you respect him? If you know that he's professing to be the creator of all things, all powerful, the mighty and great Elohim, whose statutes and judgments of which he manifested unto us, he going back and forth with us. You're not going to respect it. Because you would look at it as if you had this much power, what you arguing with me for? What you arguing with me for? And as a man, you would have to know that. What you arguing with these sinners for? What you arguing with this idolater for? Just let the truth be known. That's all the argument you need. You know what I'm saying? Let that gospel be known. Because see, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about down the line now. Because some people going to come, they're going to cease to care. They're going to cease to care. And you still got to have the heart to look these people in the face and let them know that, shoot, our King reign, our Elohim reign. We got the good news. Jail or death, I'm going to let it be known. I ain't going to argue with you. Why you think Yahushua told you don't sit back and open your mouth? That the Ruach would put in your heart what to say and give you a wisdom that your adversaries cannot gainsay and resist. You ain't got to go back and forth with them. I'm going to give you a word, they're going to shut their mouth. You ain't got to do it. That pure, unadulterated masculine spirit. You understand? That's what he given. That's what his spirit manifests. It's a beautiful thing. You ain't got to believe it, my nigga. How you hurting me? You got to sit back and look at it. How is somebody hurting you because they don't believe what you say? How is that hurting you? They ain't hurting nothing but your pride. If you know you telling the truth, why do you care if they believe what you say? You ain't got to believe it. You'll believe it soon enough, in due time. In due time. But again, man, hallelujah for Yahushua. I bless y'all at the house of Yahuwah, name of Yahushua, man. Keep your heart firm and rooted in the faith. And Yahuwah willing, till the next time.